everyone, and welcome back to another hair truth video. So in this video we're going to get a little up close and personal. As promised, I'm going to give a more detailed update in terms of what exactly is happening right now with my hair growth journey. In 2 videos ago I posted where the situation I had with the doctor, where I went and a new discovery was made with respect to me being anemic and very low on my ferritin levels. I'll leave the link for that video in the description box. Also, after that, I posted a before and after from 2018 to where I am right now. I'll also leave the link for that in the description box under this video. So in that last video with the before and after, you all would have just seen pictures. So I want to bring you all a little closer with respect to exactly what is happening. So as you all would have seen, the hair was in a total mess, and as it is right now, let me start by showing you all, like, at the front of my hairline you can see a lot of a new growth coming in at this point. Let me get it a little brighter for you. Right, so right here we can see some new growth coming in. Now in this spot here, together with the identical side, this entire area was completely clean at a point, and now you can see a lot of new growth there coming in together with some gray ones, don't mind that. So this here is what is happening. We have some new growth at the hairline, and this growth, I would say, would have stemmed from good practices in terms of a hair care routine and the medication, the supplements that I would have been taking, which was prescribed by the doctor to help with my anemic situation and to help build back those ferritin levels. And while I was taking the medication, I was supposed to take it for a month and then go back to the doctor to give her feedback. I have not been able to do that because I was in a little quarantine period, so it's a little past a month, and I'm due to go back to let her see exactly what is taking place and to give her some feedback. But what I can say is, definitely after taking the supplements, which is the iron tablets, I did see some improvement with respect to growth. So some of the growth came at the hairline, even though I had some growth coming before. How I can know the difference is the amount, the rate at which the fullness of the hair. Now it may not be back to where it was at this point in time, but there was some improvement. And how I know that it is growth and not breakage, based on the picture that I showed you all in the before and after video. There was one from in 2018. I'll leave that picture down below. There is one from in 2018 where it would have looked like my hair was full and it had big thick plaits. Now the plaits not as full, however there is more hair on the scalp. So then this would mean we have hair coming out of the roots, new growth coming out of the roots and thickening the scalp area, so that I would be able to put more plaits on the scalp, as opposed to bigger plaits and it just looking full and thick. Now I could add more. So that's one good sign that I know is actually growth and not that the hair breaking off and even shorter ones in between. So at the center here was the most trouble area. So at the middle I wasn't able to put as much plaits. Now I can actually put smaller size plaits, and because here is getting thicker at the roots, the hair strands themselves, some of them are going to be thinner at the ends. That's because the hair at the roots is quite short, so it's not able to meet the length of the hair that I have on my head, so it would appear as though it is thinner. However, as time passes and it continues to grow, your hair is always growing, so as it continues to grow, eventually I would have thicker hair coming up at the roots and extending along the plaits. No, I did do a little trim, and in this trim, if you recognize, this plait at the back here is pretty short compared to the rest, and there's one in the middle here I want to show you all at the back. If you recognize, this is what I'm talking about. At this point here, the plait starts to thins out, so I did a little trim. I cut some off I didn't cut all of this one off. The other two, like this one, is very blunt at the end. I cut this one off, so it was stringy at the end, just like this one. So eventually I'm going to get all of this off as the hair grows out, but you could actually see some length is coming, right? So we have new growth at the front. With respect to in the middle, as I was just saying, I have more plaits at the center and at different parts of my head. With respect to the scalp itself, if you look a little closer here, now if I leave this as is, it looks fairly filled. However, prior to this, the parts were a lot wider, so you could have actually seen like a great separation. Now when I part the hair, I am able to see a smaller space in between the plaits, and the entire body of the hair actually feels like it has a lot more hair on my head, so I know that there's progress. Another thing I want to point out, if you look at this plait here, you would see a lot of wild hair around it. Also, the new growth that I was telling you about at the scalp here, you see the amount of wild hair. So this is the reason why I didn't bother to go and wash my hair to neaten it up, because I wanted it to be ram full so that you all could see the hair that is coming out in the different areas, right? Look along the plaits, you're going to see them. Look, we have some here. So I know that some persons would say, because it's kind of like, I don't want to say long and short, but you have a lot of loose wild hair in between. Some persons might say, do a fresh cut all off and do a big chop and let all grow at once. But the reality is all of your hair doesn't grow at the same time. So that's what we have to understand. Now, all well and good if anybody else wants to cut off all the hair, but why I wouldn't cut off all my hair is because all the hair don't grow at the same time. So if it is that, let us say you had hair that was dormant at the scalp, and you go and you shave all off the hair that is dormant until it is revived or waken up, then it would start to grow. So even if I cut it off, the hair that was already in the growth phase is going to continue to grow in that cycle while the rest stays in either the resting phase or whatever phase it is in the exogen phase at that moment. So the hair is going to continue to be in whatever stage it is in. All of your hair doesn't grow at once. If your hair used to grow together at once, then all would fall off at the same time. So that's the reason I didn't bother to do that. And I also want to be able to make this journey mean something to me. So I want to be able to monitor, to tell people something, to give them a story, to give advice in terms of how your hair would grow. Because some people may not be comfortable with cutting all of their hair off and starting afresh for whatever reason. So that's the reason I didn't do a big chop. Also, I am in the process of making products towards a natural product hairline. So it doesn't make sense for me to cut off all of my hair. Then when I make the products, what would I test it on? I wouldn't be able to test it. So that's the next reason why I didn't cut my hair. But as you can see, it is coming along nicely, and the hair is quite black with a few gray ones in between, but it is almost as though it is jet black, right? But when I retwist all of this, most of the hair goes in, it would twist in, and it would appear to be very neat until like 2 times for the week I would massage my scalp with the herbal infused hair growth oil, spray it with some hibiscus water, and sealing that moisture with some whipped shea butter that I made. And I'm also going to make another video on some things that I'm working on at the moment. So that's my routine for the week. At least twice for the week I would do that remoisturizing process, and it has been working so far for me. So I just wanted to bring you all that update in terms of the new growth that is coming out at the scalp. Yeah, it had nothing here at a point that I could have been able to hold on to make a plait. And at the front, again, new growth is coming in. It had 1 or 2 areas. You see this area right here? was like clean, completely smooth. And now I am able to actually pull hair from on that spot. It still feels a little smooth. I don't know if anybody else have like, you ever feel a smooth spot in your head, like if you get a bust head or something. And I don't know what is the cause of that. But another thing that I would do is to let my daughter or my mother like inspect my scalp, because cameras and pictures could be very deceiving. According to the lighting that you get at the point in time, whether it's artificial light or natural light, according to the lighting, more so artificial light is going to make certain spots appear worse than it is. So sometimes pictures really and truly frustrate me, and I would be looking at the picture and I say, but my hair ain't going nowhere, why this looking so? And then I would have my daughter come in or come outside and take a picture in the natural light, and there I will really get to see exactly what is happening. So what I let them do is any area that I might be concerned about or where I want to tell you all about, I would have them come and take a look. So like this spot that I just showed on the side and other spots in the middle, I would have them zoom in with their natural eyesight, and they would say, especially my daughter, she would be like, all right mommy, on this spot I see in 1 2 3, and she would start to count four strands of hair now coming out, but they're very light, so it's like it's not ready as yet, you understand? So she would come and she would view that, and she would let me know, well, you have hair growing, excuse, you have hair growing on this spot here, you have a few more coming out on the next side. So she would let me know that there is actually hair on the spot that I tend to feel a bit smooth, and progress is coming along. So I am giving myself, I don't want to put a time on it, because when it is you're marking and monitoring time, you continue to be looking and looking and stressing out yourself. So I would give myself like a lengthy period of time. So I would say the next 2 years for things to really come together. It may happen before that, but I would keep an eye on it. It's not that, I don't have hope or anything, but I'm giving it time because I don't have the fastest growing set of hair. My hair grows average, which is ½ inch per month. With 1 or 2 cuts in between, it may end up a little shorter than 6 inches for the year. So these are some of the things that I pay attention to. And with respect to like doing length checks and measuring your hair, what you want to look for or what you want to have is a healthy head of hair. So my hair would appear, short, just resting on the air at this point in time. But when you stretch it out, it would come down a little longer based on the areas. And that is shrinkage. That's signs of healthy hair. Shrinkage is something that you could embrace, especially for type 4 hair. So what you want to look for is when you stretch the hair, it spring back up. Right? You want to get a little jump in it. Now, my hair kind of dry, so you wouldn't get much of that bounce. But that's what you want to look at. When you stretch the hair, it springs back into place and give you a little bounce. When it's freshly twisted, you get a better bounce out of it because it have like more moisture. But this is what you want to look for. You see, not how it's stretching here like a little piece of elastic. That is what you want to look for. And that's signs of healthy hair. Moisture helps your hair to stay healthy. And also, a healthy head of hair, it strives better on a clean scalp, right? So these are the things that you want to do. Be consistent. My two words are patience and consistency. Without that, you have nothing, right? And you all would have seen where my hair came from. I thought it was a lost cause, and now it's not perfect, but I am really satisfied and happy with the progress that I am seeing. I'm going to continue on this journey. So as I said before in my introduction videos, I just wanted to put this video out here to let people who might be going through a similar situation or encounter some type of hair loss know that all is not lost. We just have to put our hands on the problem and be consistent, have some patience, and things are going to look up, right? So this is the update at the moment. And I will see you all in another video speaking about a whole lot of different things, from products go back. So let me just show you all a quick view. This is exactly what it looks like. So you're seeing all the little short here in and between. Right, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.